Hello again, you're watching Everard Junction, and today is just a continuation of the Building a Model Railway series, and I'm just going to be carrying on with the details and just working my way through the scene. So I'm going to be doing some stuff in here, some stuff near the fence, try and do some stuff over there. You can see I've got a couple of things in place already, and just generally work my way along and improve things as I go. First thing is I've got a couple of additional vehicles for the layout. These are all made by Oxford Diecast. They've just released the Mark III Ford Transit, which I've wanted somebody to do something about for a long time. I think previously you could get a kit, but it was hard to come by. So it's really nice that such an 80s prototypical vehicle for the layout has been released. I've got a couple of those. They look really good. I've got two Ford console Granadas. This particular one is a copy of the one out of the Sweeney, as you can tell by the number plate. That's finished in copper brown, and then this one I think is Sebring red with a vinyl roof. They're both console GTs, and they're just a nice thing for the layout. They were getting a bit old by the time the layout is set, but plenty were still being driven about. Progress is still a little slow on this area at the moment. I am still working on Sundays, so I don't have a huge amount of time to spend on the layout at the moment. Hopefully over the next few weeks that'll finish. We're currently working very hard at work to complete a restoration for one of our customers. He's got a Mark I console GT, as you can see, and we're putting in a lot of effort at the moment to make sure that it gets finished as quickly as possible. And as you can see, we're getting extremely close. And I did manage to get it running the other week, so hopefully not too much longer to spend on this, and then I should be able to get my weekends back. Also picked up a Rover P6. Again, it's just a car I'm fond of, a car I like, and again 1988, 1989, these were still around, albeit not that common. They all need the usual toning down. You can see they're all very shiny. That sort of die-cast look to them. If you look at the Capri 3 Litre S I've had for some time, it's just been dulled down and grimed up a little bit just to make it blend a little bit better with the layout surroundings. So the same treatment will be given to the consoles, the vans, and various other new vehicles I've picked up. It's also worth mentioning that when you place the vans on the layout, to ensure that the vans are a prototypical distance from the vehicle in front. There's something else I picked up. It's a Scania 143M. These were made in about 1987 until about 1997, so perfect for the era of the layout. And a nice truck to have on the town scene. Looks very smart. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is start working on this area between the car park and the track. It's just going to have a small electricity substation on it. This is a Hornby Scaledale item. I've always liked these. I've got one on the layout already in another location. They're just quite smart, look nice. So that'll be weathered up a little bit, put perhaps there, maybe closer to the car park, maybe further away. We will see what happens. And I'm just going to do some rough ground. Perhaps a few bits of scrap rail, maybe some wheel sets, things like that, tall grass in a couple of places, and just try and make the area look a little bit abandoned, uncared for. Going to make some rough ground in here, similar to how I did over on the fuel point, similar to that, but more brown. The stuff I use to actually achieve that is, again, it's just cork. Here's the stuff. It's made by Jarvis, and you can see the product code there. It's the extra fine stuff, basically the smallest possible cork chippings you can get your hands on. Okay, so making some good progress, just adding a few bits of detail. So I've got some basic street lighting installed. Those are some scratch-built street lights, just made out of a bit of brass rod from B&Q, and a few scraps for some old plastic ready-to-run lights, including the bulbs. Got a sign for the depot, just to add a bit of interest. I'll add some more signs as I progress. There's still plenty of other little bits to be getting on with. That area is looking quite good now. It's all still wet at the moment, still drying, but I'm happy with the effect. It's not too overgrown. You can certainly see when you get close to it all the soil and the dirt underneath. It's more detail to add over there as well, but just coming together. Most of the area is now not covered with bare baseboard. There is at least some scenery everywhere you look. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with the details. There's still little bits here and there I'm going to do. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do everywhere yet, but there's plenty of things. Things like speed limit restriction signs. I'm going to see about finding some spots for some basic signalling in the yard. There's all sorts of little details that need to go on the walkways for the cleaning staff to clean the carriages. Things like water hoses and outlet pipes and stuff like that. All the sort of cleaning paraphernalia. I think I'm going to add a little bit more junk in this area, perhaps some sleepers and stuff. A little bit of weathering needs to be done to the electricity substation, and I'm going to put a fence around it. So just lots of little bits here and there, and of course I need to add various figures around the place to bring it to life. So plenty to be doing, and then once I finish with that, then I'm going to move on to another area. That'll either be the canal scene or the actual shed. So we'll see how things go. I've just started putting up a couple of signs. They make a subtle difference, but they are important. I've got a no trespassing sign there, which is basically exactly the same as that one. So I've got a few of those up the fence. I might put like a little dog walking path or something along here to indicate that the public can get to this side of the fence, so it'd be important to have the signs up to say no trespassing. Then here's another sign I've started putting up. This is a genuine Network South East sign. I've just doctored it so it says Everard Junction instead of the original name. That's quite a nice bit of period signage. Okay, I've put in some speed restriction signs. They really make a difference, lift the area up. These are the older type that were more commonly seen in the 70s and 80s. The round sort of white disc with a red outline were also commonplace, so I'll be putting some of those in, but they are typically more modern, so I'll have a mix of the two. But at the moment I've got these. These are really good. These are made by 10 Commandments. Okay, I've done a little bit more. Just made a little fence to go around the substation. Just made out of the same Bachmann Scenecraft security fence. And then I painted it green, just so it stands out a little bit, looks a little bit different. I've also just put in some basic ground cover over all the remaining areas where it was cork, just to get things started. Not going to do too much more with that because there'll be a shed here, so I'm not quite sure what I want in terms of scenic effects, but I thought I'd just put some basic stuff down. So it's coming together, but still plenty to do. So I'm going to leave it there for this video, but I will run some trains around the yard, and I also want to introduce some coaching stock into the sidings, which I haven't actually done yet. So just take a break from actually building and actually just run the trains for a little bit through here. Just make sure everything still works. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that short running session. You can see the yard is working quite nicely. Got some coaches in the shed area. The points are still working, the uncouplers are working, albeit a little fiddly. But yeah, it should be good fun to operate when it's fully scenic. So that concludes this part of the video, and I will see you again on the next one. Next one will either be getting the large shed together for the coaches, or perhaps tying together the canal scene with the new area. We'll see how it goes. I've also got a few other little projects that I'll be doing as well, such as weathering the Class 08s and a few other little bits and pieces. So I wish you all the best for 2016, and I'll be back as soon as I can with another video.